Welcome to your final day in January. There is a lot to discuss today. The New York Jets took a month off from being a joke, and they announced today, we're back. You can make fun of us again. The Yankees lost a key bullpen arm, and we'll discuss all of that a little bit later on. But today is a very, very important day. Today is graduation day. Today is the day where we all can get together and declare ourselves. Because for the last few weeks, we have witnessed brilliant basketball at Madison Square Garden. We have watched the New York Knicks take apart team after team after team. Good teams like the Denver Nuggets. Crappy teams like the Charlotte Hornets on the road the other night. Teams trying to refine their identity like Miami on Saturday. And I have nothing bad to say about the Knicks over the last month. If you tried to say something bad about the Knicks over the last month, you're a hater, you're a liar, and you're a troll. And I've got nothing bad to say. They're without Julius Randle. They're without OG Anunoby. No problem. Precious Achiuwa playing the 4. No problem. Dante DiVincenzo. No problem. They have been awesome. And I agree. They've been great, and they're fun, and they're back. That's already been declared. We know that they're back. We know that they're good. We got it. It's exciting. They sucked 10 years ago. They sucked 5 years ago. They don't suck anymore. We got it. We all know. So today, and I want all of you guys to grow a pair. All of you gals, same thing. Are you a title contender or not? No more of this. We're back. We're happy. We're having fun. We're going to do damn it. No. We get it. The Knicks are damn good. You're hearing it from me. But now we all need to make that decision. And I get it. It's card subject to change over the next 8 days. How seriously hurt is Julius Randle? What kind of trade are they going to make before February 8th? But you know who this team is. You know who Jalen Brunson is. So are they a title contender or not? Because the days of being happy that you're good and happy that you're relevant and happy that you're back, that was a fun shtick. It's over. Are you a real title contender? Do you mind if I go first? Do you mind if I kick this off?
Well, you've already gone first, so go.
Oh, thank you. You're not. You're good, but you're not. Are you beating the Denver Nuggets in an NBA Finals? No. Are you beating the Boston Celtics in a best-of-7 series? No. Even though Doc Rivers took over in Milwaukee, are you coming back from 3-1 down against the Bucks? No, you're not. So you're good and you're fun. And by the way, I don't say that to be a hater. I say that to have a real basketball discussion with everybody out there, with every Knicks fan out there. You're a title contender? You believe you can raise that trophy come June? Do you believe you can win a championship? I don't think you can. I don't think you're good enough. I don't think your best player is good enough. So, Loogie, you got a bunch of dogs on your team. Let's grow a pair. Title contender or no?
The Knicks are a title contender because they have a superstar player, top 15 player in the NBA, Jalen Brunson, casually dropping 30 points a night. They have a top 30 player in Julius Randle. They have one of, if not the best wing defenders in the league in OG Anunoby. They have depth. They have dudes. They have dogs. Dante DiVincenzo has leveled up.
Stop at the top, because you said something right at the top, and you went right into my reason, a fair reason, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to be a jerk today. A fair reason. He said Jalen Brunson is a superstar. That's a very popular thing to say over the last few weeks and months, because he's had a brilliant season.
Top 15 in the league.
Top 15 in the league. Perfect. I was going to ask you that, because my follow-up to that is I think he's about between 10 and 15. I think that's a very fair assessment. Can you name me the last time an NBA champion's best player was between that 10 and 15 spot and not top 5, not top 7? Can you name me that last NBA champion? I'll sit here, I'll put my feet up, and I'll wait for the answer.
Jimmy Butler is in that range, and he's gotten the Heat to the finals.
Did they win an NBA championship?
NBA championship contender is Final Four championship with a shot to win the title. Did that top 15 player have a top 30 player, which Julius Randle is? Did he have that guy with him?
Yeah,
so when you have a top 15 and a top 30 player, Dante DiVincenzo, who's starting to level up, OG Anunoby, his ability to play defense.
I get the rest of your roster. It's a good roster, but let's go through this. Let's be fair now. The Miami Heat did not win an NBA championship. They did get to 2 NBA finals, one in a bubble, one last year. I remember they beat your team in the second round of the playoffs.
And you would agree that Jimmy Butler's in that range of Jalen Brunson as far as a top 15 player?
I would agree with that, yes. Okay. So last year, who won the NBA title? The Denver Nuggets, correct? Would you agree Nikola Jokic is a top 5 player? He's probably the best player in the league.
Joker's the best player in the NBA.
Very good. Okay. Year before that, the team that won the NBA title were the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry, where's he?
top 5.
Okay, cool. This is fun. I'm having a really good time. And then we had, before that, the Milwaukee Bucks won an NBA title.
Giannis is top 5.
Top 5, okay. This is fun. This is an easy game. Then the year before that, we were in that bubble. I know we don't think it's real, but that guy named LeBron James, top 3?
LeBron James is top 2 all time.
Okay. Year before that, the Toronto Raptors won an NBA title.
Kawhi, when he feels like playing, top 10.
No. When Kawhi feels like playing, he's top 5. And in that moment, he absolutely was top 5. Before that, we had the Warrior dynasty. They had 2 top 5
I get
players.
all that. Jalen Brunson is getting better day in, day out.
No.
He's top 15 now. Maybe he is top 5 in a month.
I love Jalen Brunson. He's not top 5. He's not. You know that.
But he wasn't top 15 last year. He was probably top 25, so he's already improved to top 15. So another month or two, he could be playing at a top 5 level.
He's not top 5.
And by the way,
I like Jalen. Come on. Don't do that.
Butler is probably top 15, top 20, but when the lights get brighter, he becomes a top 10 player.
You keep using a guy that didn't win a damn thing. You keep using a guy
He
that
got
lost.
to an NBA championship.
Did he
You
win
said,
an
do they
NBA
have a shot to win a title? The Knicks have a shot to win the title.
Did they win the NBA championship?
The Miami Heat did not win the NBA championship. Do they have a shot to win the title with Jimmy Butler? Yes. Do the Knicks have a shot with Brunson? Yes.
We've now gone back a full decade. We could keep going, though. So now we've got the Spurs. Now, I agree in that moment.
It's funny that you skipped over a team that used to kick the Nets' ass, the Detroit Pistons, who had good players top to bottom, but no top 50.
Excuse me, I didn't skip over them. That was 10 years earlier.
Okay, but
I'm still in 2000.
I'm curious if you're going to get to that.
I am. I'm in 2014.
Gotcha.
And
Just making sure.
We're going in order.
Okay.
You want me to go back to 1975?
I just want to make sure you don't skip the order. Go ahead.
I didn't skip it. So we got the Spurs with Kawhi Leonard, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, 3 all-time greats. Though I'd argue at that moment, maybe none of them were top 5, though Kawhi was getting there. But you'd agree, special occasion, 3 all-time great players, right?
I don't know about Tony Parker as far as all-time great, but very, very good, obviously.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah. The NBA Hall of Fame.
Then you got the Heatles. Then you got Dallas with Dirk Nowitzki. Then you got Kobe Bryant. I mean, do you see what I'm saying here? And I know you want to bring up the Pistons. It's always a nice talking point. The Detroit Pistons, who got to back-to-back NBA Finals, with the exception, like, we have to just admit that. They were the exception of a team that won a title without a top 5 player. Like, all I'm saying to you, and I know it comes across like, such a hater. No, I'm just telling you reality. Like, we're playing a game. When's the last time a team won a title without having a top 5 player?
Well, it'd be the Pistons, and they showed they could do that, and I think the Knicks mirror that team because of their depth, their ability to play defense, and I would argue Jalen Brunson is better than any player on that Pistons team. They did not have a top 15 player. No disrespect to Sheed or Rip Hamilton or anybody like that, Chauncey Billups. So they didn't even have a top 15 player. By the way, the Knicks have a damn good head coach. They are running their organization very, very well. They're going to add other pieces. And again, with the combination of a top 15 and a top 30 player, the record shows it. You could look it up. They are the best team in the NBA right now. And since OG Anunoby, they have been the best team in the NBA. So why can't I believe going forward they will be the best team in the NBA?
You said a lot of positive things about the Knicks that I agree with, right? Like Tom Thibodeau's done a fantastic job. They were the best team in the sport in the month of January. That's all true. Like, I'm not going to argue that. But ultimately, my question to you and my question to every Knicks fan out there is, that's all great and that's all fantastic. Are you a title contender?
Yes.
And the evidence of the last 20 years says that you're not. Like, that's just the evidence of the last 20 years. Like, what the Pistons did was the exception to the rule. I have great respect for what they accomplished, but that's the exception. That was 2004.
So the Miami Heat, I'll bring them up again, got to the finals twice. So they couldn't win the NBA Finals in both appearances. Yeah, they ran into Joker. If you run into the best player in the league, you might have some trouble. But we don't know Denver's going back. It's hard to go back to back. So yeah, when you run into the top player and you don't have a top 5, maybe you be in a little bit of trouble here. But you can't discredit the fact that Miami went to the finals twice with a guy like Jimmy Butler, who's in the league of Jalen Brunson.
Evan, you're wrong.
Am I wrong?
You're wrong. Because it's very easy to say a lot of these things in hindsight. And you're right. The top, 5 player winning an NBA title. That Warriors' first title in 2015. Mm-hmm. Okay? Do you think that heading into the playoffs, as great as we thought Steph Curry was, we really, truly considered him a top 5 player in the game yet?
I don't know if we fully knew. I think with Steph, it was always about if he can stay healthy, he's electric and amazing. The question is, can he ever fully stay healthy and be that guy?
Okay. Now, when playing in the NBA and being a superstar, obviously you could be a triple-double machine, you could be a rebound machine. Would you not argue that Steph Curry's biggest strength is shooting, scoring, and that's what catapults him in? Steph Curry in 2015 averaged 23.8 points per game. Jalen Brunson averages more points per game this year than Steph Curry did on that first title year. The point being, I hate to side with Loogie. Time to throw him the flowers. We could get to the point where the Knicks are a true title contender and people around the league and in New York could start understanding maybe Jalen Brunson is on the verge of becoming a top 5 player.
You think he could be a top 5 player?
I do.
Joel Embiid is better. Nikola Jokic is better. Giannis
Different
is better.
styles,
Luka's better. No, I'm going through the whole list, though. Devin Booker's better. Kawhi Leonard, when he plays, is better.
So you can't put Kawhi in there.
Gilgeous-Alexander's better. You know that. SGA is better. Jason Tatum's better.
But
Steph Curry's better.
Don't you think if Jalen Brunson goes on a 3-round tear to get to the team to the finals and he's the one making all the money shots, you're going to look back at that list and go, is he really better than SGA?
Is he right now better than those guys I just said? Like, you're predicting the future. You're telling me, hey, I think he can get to that level.
I think he's closer to some of those guys, including Devin Booker, than you're giving him credit for.
No, I think he's close. Dude, I give him all the flowers in the world. He's a top 15 player in the sport right now. But all those names I mentioned, those guys are more accomplished and they're better. And by the way, Jalen Brunson's not 22 years old. He's 27 years old.
But if the Knicks do get to an NBA Finals with Jalen Brunson, everybody, including you, is going to look back and go, hey, he might be the 5th, 6th best player in the league. He has that potential now. It's time to stop denying it. This Knicks team's won 14 games in January for the first time since 93-94. They are legit. It feels different.
But
it looks different.
But you did something that I think is irrelevant. Like, I want to make this very clear to Knicks fans. You should be thrilled with what this team is doing. I'm not trying to pour, like, cold water on what they've accomplished. Like I said at the top, I got nothing bad to say about what they've done over the last month. But enough of comparing yourself to the last 30 years. It doesn't mean anything. Like, the Knicks are back. We get it. They're about to make the playoffs for the 3rd time in 4 years. They were in the 2nd round of the playoffs last year. They are back. They are good. They're going to be good every year. Like, I fully embrace that and accept that. But you can't sit here and say, oh, this is the best month they had since 94. Who gives a crap? That just tells you how crappy they've been for 30 years. What are they now, and are they good enough to go into Boston and beat the Celtics in a best-of-7 series? Are they good enough to go into Milwaukee and beat the Bucks in a best-of-7 series? And by the way, I'm purposely leaving a team out. I'm leaving those frauds in Philly out because you know what will happen if the Knicks play the Sixers? Joel Embiid will get hurt. And then, yeah, you guys will smoke them.
Yeah, you know what?
That.
I'm glad you brought up somebody getting hurt because there's a guy on the Celtics that have brought the Celtics because they were soft choke artists last year. Missoula stinks as a coach. KP. You think Porzingis is going to be there when the Celtics need him the most? He will not be. He will get hurt. He will not be there. He will be in his pajamas in his street clothes.
Talking about
with
their 3rd best player. Who's the best player on the Boston Celtics?
Jason Tatum.
Is he better than Jalen Brunson?
No. No, because I've seen Jason Tatum completely disappear when it matters the most.
What are we doing?
Jason Tatum is not a big-time clutch player. You heard it here first.
The Celtics
when the
have had
lights
a lot of
get
chances
bright,
there.
Tatum has not gotten it done, just like Embiid. And by the way, Giannis is like that too, because Giannis' inability to hit free throws makes him a liability late in games. Jalen Brunson doesn't have to come off the floor like Giannis.
So now you're going to attack the guys that are better than Jalen as a way to convince yourself.
I am building the road for the Knicks to win a title, and I already gave you Denver coming off a championship, hard to go back-to-back. Do we believe in the T-Wolves? No shot. Any team with Karl-Anthony Towns, give me a break. Are the Thunder ready to win a title? Don't think so. Do the Kings scare you? Absolutely not. Warriors are down. Lakers are down.
I don't get why people do this. Because you don't watch them every day, you dismiss them?
I didn't say I'm not dismissing them. I'm just saying they don't strike fear in my heart.
Is SGA a better player than Jalen Brunson?
I am not willing to say that, no.
What the hell? What?
No, I'm not.
It's not an insult.
If you look at the numbers, if you look at what they've done in the league.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at their numbers. No, look at their
Shade's
numbers.
great. I'm not taking anything away from him. You're trying to make me throw shade on him. I'm not going to.
But guys, I'm not throwing shade at Jalen Brunson by saying SGA is better. Do you think I am? Do you think I'm throwing shade at Jalen Brunson by saying SGA is a better player? You tell me.
But the problem is
that shade-worthy?
It's not shade-worthy, but you're missing the point. Even if he is a better player, it's not a wide enough gap that you wouldn't look at Randall and then OG and go, this is why they're a title contender.
Thank you.
And a team led by SGA. And by the way, why 94 does matter, even if it's ancient, is for the exact reason you just laid out. Who's around the Knicks? Jordan was gone that year. It gave you this opening. You have Doc Rivers coaching potentially the best team. You're staring at chokers with the Boston Celtics. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you stand on whether you're a Knick hater or a lover, the East is a clear path right now where they have a trio
path.
A clear enough
Like
path
it's
where
like-
they have a good enough trio that they can absolutely get through. And, Evan, to steal your words from every other sport, to be a title contender, just get me there. Do I think they're better than the Denver Nuggets? No. But when you're there, anything can happen. Do you think the Toronto Raptors thought they were going to beat the Golden State Warriors that year in the finals man-to-man? No, but guess what happened? Couple big injuries for the Warriors.
I know,
Finished
but
that off.
that's my strategy as a fan. Get me in as the 8th seed so that
so
the
why can't that happen?
so the 3 best players can get hurt and I can win the
But
series.
it's possible. The East is wide open.
And every single spot here where this team, where it looked like, yeah, this is going to be the night. We thought that against the Heat last week. We thought last night against Utah. They've answered the bell. Shorthanded, full strength. Guys step up. Precious stepped up last night. Dante's been stepping up. Next man up mentality. 2 top 30 players. An elite defender. Dudes. Guys that get after it every single night. Don't take nights off. That is championship DNA.
This is becoming a graduation moment for Knicks fans. For the last couple of years, it's mostly about being relevant and being good and being back. And you are. And there's no question. Now it's taking that next step as a fan and believing that this team you're watching, who's kicking ass, by the way, and they've been great over the last month, can win an NBA championship. You guys really believe that? You guys believe this team can win a title? I don't. I don't mean it to be a hater. I mean it because I watch enough NBA to know, unfortunately, and this sucks. This sucks what I'm about to say. This is not the case in baseball. It's not even the case in football, but it's the case in the NBA. If you don't have one of the tippy top guys, you don't win. And history has shown us that. And that's why today, on the final day of January, the greatest month in the history of New York Knicks basketball for the last 25 years, I look at your team and I say they're good and you're having fun and you're back and go New York, go.
Damage.
But you know damn well you ain't winning in June. 877-337-6666. That's the toll-free number. Enough of the we're good and we're back. Say it if you believe it. Say it if you believe this is a title contender. We'll hear from you next at 877-337-6666. And we got to ask some questions about Julius Randle. Because these questions need to be asked, and they need to be asked immediately. Are the Knicks hiding something from you?